What's up, guys, and welcome to my review for Aliens. This is the first time I've ever seen this movie. I've seen clips, but I've never seen the film from beginning to end. And honestly, I've only seen small clips. Like, I haven't seen much from this movie at all, but I've seen reviews for it over time where people praise the film. So I was really looking forward to seeing it. And after rewatching and reviewing the original Alien film, which I really love. I think that's a great movie. And for more of my thoughts on that, that video is up now. But, I was going into this with some pretty high hopes, as I think a lot of people were, back when this came out, because that first movie, I think, worked so well. And guess what? I loved this movie. Yeah, it came to no surprise that I would enjoy it, but the film takes a little while to get going, I thought. The pace isn't necessarily slow, but there's a lot to establish in the first half of the movie, with Sigourney Weaver's character. She's been in cryo sleep for like 57 years or whatever it's been, and she's now trying to explain herself, and nobody really believes her. But coincidentally, when that same planet, which people have started to colonize on, stops responding and gives a distress signal or whatever they did, they now say, "Oh, hey Sigourney Weaver, why don't you go down as an advisor, and we're going to send the Marines down there, and we're gonna try to do a rescue mission of these people." When we find out, guess what? Only one of them survived, which is a little girl named Newt, or what was her original name, Brenda or something like that. But she says, "Don't call me Brenda. That's what my brother calls me. Call me Newt." So Sigourney Weaver says, "Okay, I'll call you Newt." So the film continues, and we then have the Marines going and getting into their first fight and action sequence with the aliens, which takes place like 45 to like 50 minutes or something like that into the movie. And that's what I was waiting for, because I knew this film was an action film. I knew, the original is a suspense thriller, while this film is a action thriller. So I said, okay, they're setting this up. They are making us wait a little bit, and they're taking their time. But when the action starts, it rarely ends. It basically is an all-out battle to the end of the film. And I thought the action was great in this movie. James Cameron did such a great job making the action suspenseful, especially in the final act of the movie. It was it goes from one thing to another. And once you think it's over, it's not. Now, look, it does take elements of that original film. It's just bigger. You have the people, the Marines dying off one by one. If you haven't seen the film, spoilers, it's been out for a very long time. They're going off one by one, and we're left with not just Sigourney Weaver, but we're left with the little girl and the AI, which I thought was an interesting way to do that in this movie with the AI, because in the last movie it didn't end very well with Ian Holm's character. So this time around, when she realizes that an AI is on this mission, she doesn't want anything to do with him. But he's very likable. He's got personality. He's better than Ian Holm in that original movie. Not saying Ian Holm was bad. I was just saying the role he had, he wasn't really able to do much with it. So I like the AI more in this film. And when he gets ripped in half, I felt really bad for this guy. I mean, it was like shocking to see this alien mother just pick this guy up and rip him in half. I mean, these aliens are a huge threat. And from the first movie that sets that up with the xenomorph, and this movie that sets it up, I mean, these things are not to be messed with, and they are extremely dangerous. So you feel the stakes, and the stakes are very high in this. Now, like I said, that I think it was a bit of a coincidence that right after Sigourney Weaver basically gets shut down by these people that don't believe her, and like the next scene, it's like, oh, turns out that the planet you were talking about, well, nobody's responding to us now. And there's something going on there. There's a problem. So now we need you to come down as an advisor. It just felt really convenient for the plot. So, I mean, I could get past that. But the thing you take away from this movie is the is the great action. And Sigourney Weaver's terrific performance as well. She was nominated for Best Actress in a Leading Role at the Oscars. I mean, she was terrific in this film. And, after me watching these films, I mean, she has become a top tier hero. She is really given a lot to do, especially in this film. She's given so much to do. And, her relationship with the little girl, I thought was really sweet. But I thought it was really strange how the alien, the xenomorph, the girl's falling down the shaft, whatever. She's standing in the water. They're trying to get the ground open to get her. And the thing comes behind her. And it stands up. And it doesn't kill her, but it doesn't damage her either. And it takes her just in the corner in this area. I mean, it doesn't put her in a cocoon. It just kind of puts her to the side. And again, plot convenience, maybe, but it didn't hurt her. Like, I feel like the people that were cocooned, they at least were a little damaged. I mean, this girl didn't get killed. And Sigourney says, look, she's alive, we got to still save her, she's alive. Okay, I guess. That was something like I thought, oh, they killed her. I mean, what a decision. And if they killed her like that, I would have been like, whoa. She did everything in her power to save her, and now she's toast. And this is the ultimate survival film. I think that would have been great. I would have preferred it, to be honest with you. They went in the more sweeter route where she goes and rescues her. And a great scene where we meet the alien mother. I think that there's so many things in the last half of this movie that are really terrific. But probably the weirdest thing, I mean, look, at some of James Cameron's dialogue in the movie, not a lot, but some, a little questionable. There's a line at the end of the film where Sigourney gets the xenomorph, blasts it out of the ship again, and the little girl runs up to her and says, "Mommy." Now, I understand you got a bond with her, but Mommy? I mean, you've been calling her Ripley this whole movie. Now she's Mommy because she got rid of the monster? Little weird for me. Little strange. Actually, a lot of strange. So, getting past that as well, the last thing I want to say is Bill Paxton. The late, great Bill Paxton. He was phenomenal in this movie. Now, the first half of it, before he gets into any action with the xenomorphs, his character was very cliched. I mean, you've seen groups of people in films that act this way with each other. I mean, there was nothing really new or exciting with any of the crew members, except the AI I liked. But with Bill Paxton, once they escape the first attack, his character just becomes hilarious. He's whining a lot, and he's got a lot to say, and I thought that was all very funny. But once push comes to shove, he's still taking his guns out, and he's still shooting them. And his final bit in the movie, I mean, he goes out in a blaze of glory. And I really appreciated that. His death scene was pretty terrific. But once the damn things burst out the floor and they start to rip them down, I was like, damn. I wasn't thinking who's going to survive and who's going to make it out. I was just immersed and invested into the scene. And I was really upset when he died. There's like a little romance element that's building with Ripley and one of the guys. I didn't really care for that. So look, overall, I think the first movie is a better film. But this is an excellent sequel. And I loved it, and I'm probably going to give it the same rating, to be honest with you. This is a 4.5 out of 5-star movie. It's extremely well made. Does it have more problems? Yes, but these aren't problems that tank the film for me. They're just noticeable things that I wanted to mention for this review. I mean, I loved this movie, and I don't own it on 4K. I own the Blu-ray. I'm interested to see what the 4K of this Aliens looks like, and I might just get it just to do that comparison for myself. So That's where I'm at with Aliens, guys. Comment down below. Do you love this movie? What are your thoughts on Aliens? What's your favorite film in the franchise? Look, Alien Romulus. I'll be reviewing that in 1 week, and I'm very excited to do so. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do reviews for the rest of the films in the series. If I have time, I would like to. So that's where I'll leave that. Guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Check out my review for that original Alien film up now. Also, guys, you follow me on Twitter and or X at RyanKing72 and Instagram and TikTok at King Arises 131. That's better for me. Thank you so much for watching my review for Aliens. And until next time, over and out.